Welcome back, guys. Okay, let's keep this going. Another big fight that's happening this weekend. A very interesting fight, a fight you really need. I would suggest you tune into to see some skills on show. It's going to be Trout going up against Erislandy Lara. Now, both guys are skilled fighters. These are technically gifted fighters. These are pretty slick fighters. These are boxers. These are guys you want to watch if you want to see some good boxing. And the thing is with Lara, I followed him for a while, and I rated him early on, and I thought this guy can do some damage. He can be a big fighter in the division. And while he's still, quite a decent name, it's never really taken off for Lara, in my opinion. Ever since really the Molina fight, where there was that controversial decision, and Molina's a difficult opponent, I know. Perhaps Lara's management should have thought of that before they put him in with Molina. It really hasn't taken off for Lara. He's just not hit that plateau where he's, got the big name and he's having the success I thought that he would. Then he had the Paul Williams fight. It's been difficult for him, I think, his career thus far. But you've got to admire guys who still fight the best. They want to fight the best, even when things don't go their way and they have a couple of different dodgy decisions or they're involved in controversy. They haven't had the massive success. Some guys just come through and they skyrocket. They manage very well and they skyrocket and they end up picking the right fights and everything goes perfectly according to plan, until eventually possibly they lose further down the line. But you've got the guys like Lara who are fighting big fights, even pretty early on in their career, in comparable terms to other guys in the field. And here is no different. He's going up against a guy in Austrian Trout who, okay, in his last time out he lost to Canelo Alvarez, and I picked Trout to beat Alvarez, might I add, which I was wrong about. But like it's been mentioned, and I do think Alvarez is underrated, I feel, and hand speed. I think he's got good hand speed. Canelo, I think, he is underrated because of the hype around him and all the rest of it. For various reasons. But I think Trout did underperform on that night. Perhaps wasn't quite as sharp as he would have liked. He's mentioned this, I think, recently. Since then, he's got a point to prove. I think that I've got a feeling here. If just from memory, I think Trout was the bigger guy in this fight. I think he's going to have a height and reach advantage. Yeah, I may be mistaken. It's just off the top of my head thinking of these two guys. Trout just looks bigger, and that's the thing in this fight. I think that's going to work to his advantage, and that's their game. Both of these guys are more outside type fighters. They're more skilled, slick fighters. They're not guys who really want to go inside and trade with you and throw short hooks. They're looking for range. They're looking for distance control. They're looking for timing, and both guys are very good at that. I can't really place a major difference in the skill level of these two guys in terms of that. I think they're both good at what they do in that respect. Both guys have decent levels of power, not amazing killer power, not something to write home about, but it's there nonetheless. It's there. It can hurt you if they catch you right. They're not weaklings by any shot. I just think that Trout's physical attributes win the fight for him in this. I think it goes the distance. I think he wins a decision. It's going to be difficult because the thing with Lara is he keeps low. And he may use that to his advantage in this to make Trout sort of punch down, if you like. He's going to make Trout really work to land some good quality punches, particularly to the body. And that's something he could try and take away in this fight, is to try and lower his stance, take Trout's body punching away from him to make it difficult to get into the body, and force him to go headhunting and frustrate him a bit, and then look to counter mistakes later in the fight. Something that I would advise Lara to do in this one. I think that, like I said, it's going to be a bit of a distance fight. Mix it up at times. All boxing matches end up with a bit of mixing. You always get a bit of close fighting. And we do get shocks now and again. You know, we get fights which we never thought would go inside. We think they're going to be distance fights when they're not. They actually both fighters end up just putting on a war, real spectacle. But I think in this one I would expect it to be a distance fight. I expect it to be length. I expect Trout to use his physical advantage to establish a jab, to be able to just dictate the pace of the fight more than anything, and perhaps frustrate Lara a little bit in his own terms. And then it may be close. You know, there may not be anything in it. It could be a boring fight, to be honest with you. In terms of if you're looking for an exciting fight, I don't think this is going to exactly be a Brandon Rios type affair. But it's going to be some skills on show. It's going to be possibly close because both guys are skilled and they are they're skillful boxers. It's just going to be difficult to sort of find that differential between the ability of the two guys. Which guy's going to take over and at which point? Maybe a little bit cagey early on, but as the fight progresses, I expect to see some decent action. And I'm calling Trout on this one. I think you get the decision. I think it'll be perhaps a bit of size, strength, reach, height. Like I said, I'm basing it on that, and I'm pretty sure that Trout's the bigger guy. I hope I'm not completely wrong on this one. But either way, I think that he takes this fight, and I think that he'll be close though, because Lara's not a type of guy you beat by wide decision, and it'll probably be close. But I'll go for Trout in this one. Tune in, guys, if you really want to see some good boxing. I think it could be a good display, and two really good guys in the division. Two top fighters in the division going at it, and looking for Austin Trout to bounce back. So thanks for watching the Box Spread. I'm out.